Hi, my name's Kate and I've teamed up with Totter and Tumble to give you a 10-minute yoga flow for mums. Now before we get started, it's always important to speak to your healthcare professional before returning to exercise. So let's get started. So we're going to begin by placing one hand onto your heart and one hand onto your tummy. And from here, either with a soft gaze or closing your eyes, we're going to start by getting connected to our breath. So we notice as we inhale, our chest and our tummy begins to rise. And as we exhale, it all starts to draw in. We take this opportunity at the start of the class to just let go of anything that's not serving us today. And allowing yourself to have these 10 minutes to get connected with your breath, get involved into your practice and give back a little bit to yourself. Lowering the hands onto your knees. And we're going to start by lowering your left ear to your left shoulder. Feeling the release through the right side of our neck. Bringing our chin to our chest. And then over to the other side. And then we can begin to move the neck from side to side, do full circles with the neck if that's comfortable. Going one way and then the other. And then we return to a neutral spine. From here we're going to lower our left hand down towards the floor. Our right hand goes up towards the sky. Then we're going to exhale as we start to come into our side stretch. We feel the right side of our body start to open. We have our chest open towards the front of the room. We inhale, hands come up and over our head, and we go over to the other side. This time stretching out through the left side of the body. Again, being mindful that the chest is open towards the front. And then coming back to center. From here, we're going to come onto all fours. Fingers are going to be spread nice and wide. Hands and wrists are underneath the shoulders, and knees are underneath the hips. From here, we're going to come into doing our cat-cow. So we're going to exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, gaze goes towards the back of the mat. And on our inhale, we soften through the elbows, opening up through the chest. Gaze goes towards the front. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone. Inhaling, softening through the elbows, tilting through the pelvis, and opening up through the chest. Couple of rounds here. Lovely, and then coming back to a neutral spine, back to your tabletop. And from here we want to keep our back nice and straight and strong. So I want you to imagine it's your first cup of tea or coffee of the day. Maybe it's your glass of wine after a long day. Whatever it may be. And we're going to start by sending your left foot towards the back of the mat. Toes are pointing down towards the floor. Your right hand comes forward. And maybe we stay here, or we can start to lift the left foot off the mat. And then reaching forward with our right hand. Staying here, pulling in through the pit of the belly. Keeping that slow and steady breath that we did at the start. Lower your hand back down towards the floor, and then send your knee back down as well. Going with the opposite side. So right foot towards the back of the mat, left hand forward. Lifting up with the right back foot, and then left hand forward. Lower the hand back down towards the floor, and then lowering the knee back down as well. Come into our child's pose, big toes come in towards each other. Knees come out to the outer edges of the mat, and we start to walk our hands towards the top. Resting our forehead down towards the ground. You have the option to have opposite hands to elbows, and rest the forehead onto the forearm. start to rise up, press the hands into the ground and lift your bottom up towards the ceiling, coming into a downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the feet, bring movement to the hamstrings. Be mindful to press the hands down into the ground. You're going to step your right foot forward, staying on the balls of the back foot, and you're going to inhale up into a high lunge. Hands come up and over the head. Hips are pointing towards the top of your mat. And we exhale, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Staying here for a few breaths. Lower the hands down towards the floor and step back into another downward facing dog. Continue to pedal out the feet. And let's go with the opposite side. So your left foot steps forward. And we inhale as we rise up, making sure that we've got that front knee is above the ankle again. And hips are pointing towards the front. Hands lower down towards the mat. Step your back foot forward and then exhale into a ragdoll. Hands grab opposite elbows and you gently start to sway side to side. Feet are hip distance apart. And as you inhale, you slowly begin to rise. Feeling one vertebra at a time. Crown of the head and the shoulders reach the top. We exhale, release the shoulders away from our ears. On our next inhale, hands come up and over the head. And on our exhale, we come into our chair pose. So feet stay hip distance apart. We can see all 10 toes, fingers spread nice and wide. Active through the belly. Exhale as you forward fold. And then stepping back into another downward facing dog. Bottoms up towards the ceiling. Pedaling out the feet. Lovely, and then let's lower our knees down towards the floor. Going back into a tabletop, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to come into thread the needle, so we're going to send our right hand up towards the ceiling. And we exhale, threading that hand through and lowering the right ear down towards the mat. Your left hand can go up towards the top of the mat. Begin to rise backwards. We go with the opposite side. Left hand goes up towards the ceiling on the side. We exhale, lowering the left ear down towards the mat. Right hand towards the top of the mat. Okay, and then slowly begin to rise up, coming back onto all fours, and then walking the hands back to your knees so you're sat on your heel. From here, you're going to bring your hands to heart center into prayer. You're going to inhale as the crown of your head reaches up towards the sky. You lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, you're going to just start to turn through the chest. Gaze goes over the left back shoulder. Coming back to center. And then going through to the other side. Lower the hands down towards the knees, coming back to the breath. Noticing as you inhale, your chest and your tummy begins to rise and inflate. And as you exhale, it all starts to draw in. take a moment to acknowledge just getting 10 minutes to do your yoga flow for yourself. Thank you very much.